Hi, I'm David Kidd. Hey, for over 26 years, I've been getting cars ready for Barrett-Jackson auction, SEMA show, and other major shows across the country. Today, I want to show you on the 65 Mercury Comet how we can get your cars ready and basically transfer this over to getting your car ready for car shows. So we're going to go through it and give it a car wash. We're going to do the wheels, do the interior, kind of run through the car real quick, teach you some of the tips and tricks that I've learned over the last 26 years, again, going to these shows to help you be able to get your car ready for this season. We're getting a car ready for a car show. So when you're choosing car washes, Malco, we've got a product, it's awesome. It's got a real high silicone content, it's called ultraviolet. And with the foam cannon, it still gets real nice suds, as you saw when I was shooting it, but you also notice it kind of settles down. That's the high silicone content in it. We're now gonna rinse this off. I'm gonna start from the top and work my way down. Okay, so we used the foam cannon so we didn't have to touch the vehicle. We pressure wash it off, we've got everything clean. So now we want to use some kind of a tool to be able to get the water off again without touching. So, you know, we've got this type of tool. I also like the smaller battery powered leaf blowers, that works real well. Just make sure, you know, the tip doesn't bang into the car, so kind of be careful with that. But blowing this off, and then we could do a real light microfiber at the end. Okay, so the next step, I'm going to show you polishing. So in this area, we've got some water spots, and we tried wiping them, and they were not coming up. We also have a little bit of scratch. So I'm going to use the 21mm tool. I'm going to use the orange medium pad and Epic medium compound. Whenever you're using orbitals, less is always more. All you want is 4 drops. You don't want to go crazy on your compound. Just 4 drops on the pad. And we're just gonna do a small section, kind of a 3x3. We're also gonna do an overlap. If you notice when I go, I'm gonna do an overlap, 60-70% overlap. Now there's 2 types of speeds. There's a speed in the machine, and there's my movement speed. I run mine between 6 is full throttle wide open, 5 and 6, somewhere in that range. So let's just put it on 5. And we're gonna do a small section here. We're gonna originally lay it out in the area. So we laid the compound out in the area, and now we're gonna go back and slowly work that compound. And it goes from kind of a milky opaque color to kind of a clear. And that's kind of when you know that it's broke down and you've kind of run through. And then we'll inspect and see if we've removed the imperfections. Okay, so I did 2 passes. And don't really overthink this. Don't get too, if you guys have never done this before, you're able to do this. Again, the tool is pretty forgiving. We're using a medium cut pad, so we're not gonna be overcutting the paint. It gives you a nice correction, but you've got a lot of control. And again, there's 2 types of speeds. There's the rotary, there's the movement of the tool speed, which again, I had that on 5, but then my movement. So make sure you go real slow when you go over the top of it, and make sure you do those overlaps. Okay, so now we're gonna wipe it off. And there you go. So next we're gonna do the chrome. It's a 65 Comet Caliente. So the Caliente had a lot of chrome and a lot of stainless. So one thing I've always noticed with the chrome, and you've probably noticed as well, is that, wow, it just doesn't shine like it used to. And basically it's oxidized, okay? Just like the paint oxidizes, so does chrome. So you can do it by hand. You can use a tool. We're gonna use the same 21 that we did. I'm gonna slow it way down. I'm gonna put it on a number 1 or number 2 as far as speed. And the product works amazing as Cherry Flash. It's just basically a wax that just put a little bit on there. And then I'm gonna go in this area. And look, you could do this by hand, but you could also use the tool as well. I'm using a polish pad. This is our black polish pad. It's very, very soft. You will not remove scratches from chrome. Once when it's scratched, it's scratched. You can't remove them, but we can pull out the oxidation. So you wanna make sure you use a pad that's very, very soft. You could use different types of chrome polishes, but in this case, we're gonna use Cherry Flash. And you can see some of the oxidation that we've got in here, right? This car sat for, over the winter time, and it just doesn't look as good. So we used the 21 on this. What we're trying to do for this video is to show you don't need hundreds of different tools to be able to get the job done. But obviously a smaller throw or a 3-inch tool would have worked a whole lot better. But I just want to show that, what you have, kind of run what you brung. So, utilize the 21 and you can get some great results. And as opposed to doing it by hand. That's simply all we're doing. Just kind of a cheater. Okay, so we're all finished all polishing. Now I'm gonna go back again and use the ceramic prep wipe product and just spray this on. And what I like about this is it allows me to be able to clean off any compound. At the same time, if there's any compound that gets into jams, it'll help dissolve that and help you get rid of it. So there's nothing worse than polishing on a car real good and then you get the compound in the corners and it just looks really unfinished. So this will help you clean it up real nice. The other one with this product is like the rubber got in here. The rubber tends to oxidize. We talked about bumpers oxidizing and car oxidizing. You could actually use this product, spray the rubber, and then give it a real hard wipe on the rubber. And you can see you've taken off some of that, but it makes it look like a brand new window molding. I always like to bring the car out in the sun, just to kind of give a good last inspection to make sure I don't have any swirl, I didn't miss a spot. And we just kind of want to inspect. I go through all the panels and just take a look. And in the sun, it's going to show if there's any holograms, any swirls, any heavy scratches that maybe we should go back and fix. But I'm not seeing anything, so it's looking really, really good. A couple spots of compound that I've missed here across this edge. So again, I'm going to spray it in here and just use a kind of corner of the towel and drag it through and get that out. Okay, so we inspected it outside in the sun. Car looks fantastic. Now we're going to put CR2 on it. And CR2 is a spray ceramic. There's the other type of ceramics where you have the little bottle where you use it with you put it on with the block. This one's very, very easy. You want to spray it on. You don't want to use a lot. A little bit goes a long way, so don't over apply. And I want you to use 2 towels. We're going to use one towel for our heavy pickup and then one for like a buffing towel. We're going to buff it in, right? So on this, we're going to do half of the hood, inspect it and do the other half, and then we're going to inspect the whole entire hood. Okay, so when you're spraying the product, don't over apply. And you want to use 2 different towels. So one towel is going to be your wet, heavy pickup. And this one, use it to evenly move the product around. And again, using gloves, so you don't get any oils from your hand. And then, we're going to take our buff towel and buff over the top of it. So next we're going to do the engine. And right off the bat, in opening the hood, I noticed a lot of grease and kind of oil. I end up having a steering rack go out on me. So we want to get this off first before we kind of start in here. So one product we have is Little Red Thunder. It's a degreaser. It's diluted down a little bit, so you could spray it on here and safe on paint in this situation. One thing you do want to be concerned with is I do have polished aluminum valve covers, so you don't want to get it on polished aluminum. Chrome is okay, but not polished aluminum. It'll burnish it. And you can see it just wipes off real easy. So next we're going to clean in the engine compartment area. So one of the products I really like is Clean and Shine. It does fantastic when it comes to jams and in this black satin area. Don't forget your jams. A lot of guys clean their cars, but they forget to get in here. Also the compound along this edge, always try to get that out. But if you can't reach areas, like back in here, I really can't wipe that. If you just spray it on and let it cure, it looks amazing. You don't even have to touch it. Now, if it's filthy, that's one thing. Of course, you need to get in there, but it's not really dirty, but just kind of treating it. It's back here in the firewall. You just spray the firewall and it just looks real good, but I'm not gonna get back in there. You can do just this. This, because it's right here. Obviously, I could wipe that. So now we could go in with the same exact product and work our hoses, our radiator hoses. So we're going to use Red Thunder on these lines. This is a degreaser. Look how nice that cleans that. I had a steering rack go and just blew steering fluid and it was a mess under here. So just real quick, you can see how nice that does. Again, don't get Red Thunder on any polished aluminum parts. That'll definitely burnish it. All right, so protecting any of your chrome or polished aluminum that you have under the hood, Cherry Flash works great. Just use a little bit on a towel, wipe it down. Nice thing with Cherry Flash, just like the bumpers, it took the oxidation out. Same thing under hood. So we can clean up our polished aluminum as well as give a real nice shine to our chrome valve covers or pulleys or any of that stuff that have chrome on it. So next, let's do some tire dressing. So I just grabbed an old towel that's kind of worn out, kind of done, and we're going to use Easy Shine and just spray around on a towel. Don't spray on the tire, especially again back to what we're talking about with these polished aluminum wheels. You get this on there and you could burnish the rim. So just right on the towel, kind of put a liberal amount, and then just wipe it on. Also, they make applicator pads, you know, for doing the same exact thing. But if you don't have one and you want to, you know, I prefer you doing it this way than just spraying the tire. All right, so we got the exterior of the car all done. It looks amazing. Now we're going to jump to the inside. So one of the things first is we're going to get these vinyl door pads cleaned up. You stick your arm on these and it's summertime and you're hot and you know, you just get the oils and dirt and all that. So leather and plastic cleaner. Anytime you're using these products, spray directly onto the towel, never directly onto the leather. You just never know how the leather and the coating that's on the leather are going to behave. So spray it on the towel first. Do an inconspicuous spot, but we've already done that. I'm familiar with this car, so I know it's not going to react. But on the towel, just kind of wipe this in. And looks pretty good. Especially on these show cars, your interiors aren't getting horrendously filthy, right? So a simple brush, a towel, and just a simple cleaner for your carpet cleaning really can do the trick. So using this brush, Gets in there and really cleans up the hairs of the carpet. If there's any really stubborn spots, this plastic mat, the brush can get in there and clean those up real well. And then even your foot pedal, even your brake pedal. And then just wipe it down. It's amazing how much just wiping with a towel, it's a clean towel, how much dirt that takes out, and how much better it looks. Just simply with that. Not really necessary to hose it out with a bunch of water. Some guys like to take a bunch of water and vacuum it out, kind of a shop vac, wet vac type of thing, but really don't need to do that. Just wipe it down and it looks great. So let's move on to doing the glass. So there's a couple things that can help you out with that. One is don't over apply. So when you're spraying, just put a little bit of product on it, don't over hose it. The other thing is, a lot of people that get streaks, sometimes you can't tell which side you're getting streaks on. You're getting streaks on the inside or the outside. We can't tell, right? So one thing that helps is on the exterior is do the up and down motion. And I always like to do two towel method. And on the interior, do the sideways motion. Because that way if you see streaks that are going this way, you know it's on the inside. If you see streaks that are going this way, you know it's on the outside. So we've got this car already. It looks fantastic. You know, one thing I try to do before I leave is to get everything done in the garage. Some guys like to get to the show and put tire dressing on and some other things at the show. I try to get it all done while it's here in the garage. It's safer, keeping things from getting on the polished aluminum wheels. You know, I just like to have everything done before I leave. With tire dressing, make sure you give yourself time. You know, give 20 minutes for the tire dressing to get on to cure before, so it doesn't fling on the side of the car. You know, so don't apply it and then take off. If you're gonna wipe down, you know, do a wipe down method like this, you know, across the car. I try to always minimize wiping of the car. A lot of guys like to wipe the car down at the show. Boy, just try not to do that, because everything you picked up on the en route there is gonna scratch the car. So again, if you have to wipe it, hold it this way, and just literally the weight of the towel, just drag it over the top, and that'll get off. And if it's anything more than that, then deal with that and wash it later, right? So hey, I'm gonna see you at the show. Okay, now we're at the show. Got this thing all looking great. Let's go check out what everybody else has. 57 T-Bird, sweet car. 55, 56, 57, all 3 years. They look like this. 58, they changed. Hard top, the top comes off the top. Porthole side, window. Really cool car. These way outsold the Corvette in 55, and the funny thing is, the Corvette nearly didn't really become a car because the Thunderbird way outsold the Corvette to the extent that I think the only reason why they kept the Corvette is just out of just pure pride that we're not going to have Ford beat us. But they sold them, I think it was 10-1. So it's the night of the 55. So we talked about the 55, 6, and 7 Thunderbird, 55, 6, and 7 Bel Airs. This is a 57 custom, a really nice car. LS engine out of a Corvette is thrown in this. Beautiful paint. Kind of interesting is right in here is the gas cap. Pull this out to the side and that's how you fill the car. So the 55, 56, 57 Bel Airs are all very similar. The 55 is more boxy and the 57 had these big fins on the back of it. So here we got a 69 Chevelle. Here we got a 67 Chevelle. Look at a massive change. It went from 67 to 69. Look how big these were. What a beautiful, beautiful car. Great lines. 69, they want smaller. Actually 68, they want smaller. So 67, they were big, 68, they want smaller. And here you are at the 67 Chevelle. Okay, so we saw the Thunderbirds, and then we saw the Bel Airs. So here we are with a 56 Bel Air Nomad. So the Nomad means it's a two-door, but it's a station wagon back. So really kind of unique and rare car. They were mainly used for delivery purposes. You could tell the 56 because the stripe comes down and then it goes down to the back bumper. That's how you can tell a 56. 57 has the fins, and 55 just has a chrome line that goes down the side of the car. But this is a 56 Nomad. Beautiful car. Okay, we got a Buick Regal here. It's the earlier T-types. What was really interesting with this is back in the 80s, we started having smog and all these different emission things, and horsepower in the 70s, 60s and 70s was big time. 73, it really started to take a decline. By 1980, 80 horsepower is common in most cars. 100 horsepower was common. GM set everybody on their ear when they took a V6, turbocharged these, and what was really cool about these is we're able to get big horsepower. So this car, the 3.8, which they call a 3800, had about 160, 180 horsepower. With the turbo, it was 245 horsepower, 330 foot-pounds of torque by adding the turbo to it. So a lot happened coming into technology when it came to turbos, and most cars now are turbocharged, and we're getting 30 miles a gallon with 300, 400 horsepower in some of these cars. So this is really the onset of technology for today with turbocharged. How are you?
How you doing, man?
Good to see you.
You
all right?
I'm doing great, man.
Hey guys, so look, we got a car ready today for the show.
Okay.
This is one of my buddies here, and we got his car ready a couple weeks back.
Fantastic work on my car.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So all the steps I talked about today, we did on this. So check this thing out. This is a 66 GTO, and this car is beautiful. 400 tri-power, 4-speed convertible. 389. Scratch that. 389. When did they come out with a 400? What year was that? The next year. Got it.